Taking life for granted is something we're all guilty of, but most of us learn from our mistakes and move on. Unfortunately, every now and then you come across a person who truly believes they know better. Someone who is irresponsible and would rather kill themselves or someone else just to send a text while driving. Like most intelligent and informed citizens, my biggest pet peeve is people who refuse to stop texting while driving. After giving background on my history with people who refuse to stop texting while driving, we'll explore how it affects us and what can be done to prevent or stop my pet peeve. First, a brief look into my experiences with people who refuse to stop texting while driving. Like many people today, I've had the unfortunate experience of losing a classmate to texting while driving. Although I personally did not know the classmate, his death still affects everyone from my high school to this day. This tragic loss was made worse by the fact that it could have been prevented. Since the accident, I have clearly vocalized my disdain for texting while driving. Many people still text while driving, but immediately put away their phone if you ask them to stop. But occasionally you want to run across my biggest pet peeve. In college, you often find yourself riding places with a group of friends. Normally I drive, but one of my roommate's boyfriends decided to drive us. He texted the entire drive, and I didn't think it was possible, but his horrible driving became even worse. I hate confrontation, but I also don't think dying would be any fun. So I worked up a little courage and said, I don't promote texting while driving. I hope this simple statement would make him realize he needed to put down the phone, but no, he continues to text while driving. I realized he wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed, and I knew I might just have to come out and ask him to stop. I worked up a little more courage and said, will you please stop texting? He then had the nerve to say that it was not affecting his driving and kept texting. At this point, I didn't need courage. He had just struck a nerve. He found my pet peeve and continued provoking me until I was outraged by the situation. After he told me that texting didn't affect his driving, I had to let him in on the secret of how horrible a driver he was. At this point, he crossed the line and began to slam on brakes and drive badly on purpose. I then let him know that I refused to let him kill me, but I would be glad to get out of the car so he could send his precious text message. My roommate finally decided to step in and tell her boyfriend that he needed to stop because he was being rude. My experience with people who refuse to stop texting while driving was an extreme case that showed how annoying it is when people refuse to stop texting while driving, and he activated my pet peeve to another level. Next, we will discover how our refusal to stop texting while driving affects us. A pet peeve is usually a small annoyance, has no detrimental effect on anyone, but occasionally a pet peeve can also be dangerous. Most people have been well educated on the dangers of texting while driving. Texting while driving leads to accidents, and these accidents can result in property damage, injuries, and even death. Knowing that something you're doing could lead to your death and doing it anyway is just plain stupid. Every day, people make a conscious decision to continue to text while driving, so an effort to prevent or stop my pet peeve must be made. Finally, we'll discover what can be done to prevent or stop people from committing my pet peeve. Awareness is a simple solution to prevent my pet peeve. Keeping people aware that refusing to stop texting while driving is a serious and dangerous habit may persuade some drivers to quit. Vocalizing how you feel about people texting while driving will often help them to understand how it affects you on a personal level, and hopefully they'll understand and they'll love you enough to put down the phone. Showing the horrendous aftermath and lasting results of a car accident caused by texting while driving is the best way to emphasize the importance of stopping texting while driving. While each of these things can aid in preventing or stopping someone from texting while driving, the problem will not be solved until everyone puts down the phone. Although there is a large awareness of the importance of stopping texting while driving, the issue still plagues us. My personal experience shows how refusing to stop texting while driving affects us and what can be done to stop my pet peeve. The best way to prevent and stop texting while driving is to practice what you preach. So the next time you find yourself replying to a text while driving, think about what you're risking for a simple text message. Every person who makes the conscious decision to give up this bad habit is helping to make the world a safer place. Thank you.